Within the credit card space, there are some good companies, there are some great companies, and there are some whack, terrible companies that I would not even trust with a single penny. So in this video, I'm gonna be going through what I believe is the best to the worst through my own credit card company tier list video. By the way, a lot of this is gonna be subjective and it's all based on my own opinion, so let me know if you guys agree down below after you finish watching this video. To kick this video off, we got Capital One. All right, so Capital One is a bit of an interesting issuer because they have a bunch of mixed reviews within the space, but from my own personal opinion, I would say they've done a much better job over the past recent months. With that, I'm gonna actually put them towards the A tier or the excellent category. So let's talk first about why they might be bad and why they wouldn't even be considered for my S tier category, but why there would be a potential of them moving up. So first of all, Capital One does something a bit interesting that I don't see a lot of other issuers doing, and they tend to deny people with excellent credit. It turns out if there's a hint that you're making money with credit cards and Capital One can't profit off of you, they make it even harder for you to get approved. On top of that, it seems like Capital One is also a bit more stingy in giving out credit limit increases. Now, like I mentioned earlier, their algorithm is a bit weird where it seems like if you have a lower credit score and a low credit history, you have a higher chance of getting approved than someone who's been within the space for a long time. So I would just consider Capital One to be a great early to mid-game product or much later down the road where you've exhausted all your options in other credit cards. Now, those are a bit of the cons, but why are they so good? Well, Capital One has strengthened their program significantly with cards such as the Capital One Venture X, which I consider to be one of the most OP travel credit cards, and even things like the Capital One Saver One card. If you guys watch any of my top credit card videos, you'll know that they are constantly ranked top on my list, and there is good reason for that. I'm not going to cover it, otherwise this video is going to be much longer than I want it to be, but if you want to learn more about those, make sure you watch some of my other credit card videos at the end of finishing this. Now, the next credit card issuer that we have here on the list, this is going to be Citi, and although I wouldn't really categorize Citi to be within the A tier category, I would say they're pretty darn close. To fill this chart out, I'm going to claim them in the B tier category. They're not mid, they're a bit better than mid. They're not excellent. I would say they're pretty good. So for starters, Citi is also known as Citi Bank because they have a wide variety of other checking account products and not just credit cards. As a bank, they're pretty standard within their service. They have really good UI within their mobile app and also their website, but it turns out customer service is sometimes a hit or a miss. Now, there's no issues with Citi that is reported by most people, and they also do have a fleet of pretty solid credit cards. So the ones that come to mind that most of you guys should know about is the Citi Double Cash. This is a simple credit card. You have a welcome bonus attached to it. Most often there is an incentive where you have like 12-month, no APR. Sometimes it's 15-month, but with this card, you get 2% cash back on everything. So people who are not interested in points and miles, but they just want simple, easy cash back, the Citi Double Cash card has been reigning king within that category for a long time. On top of that, you have the Citi Premier card. It's another viable card, not terrible at all. And within the first year, you definitely get positive value within holding it. On a more personal note, I do think the Citi Premier actually has one of the coolest designs out of all the credit cards that exist. With this credit card issuer, the reason I place them within this B tier category is that they're great if you use them right. They help you build up your credit score. They make getting other future loans and other bank products a bit more easier. And I would say though, on the opposite end of that, if you happen to miss payments, you have credit card debt, Citi might not be your friend at all. Chances are though, if you're watching this video, you have your finances under control, you don't really have that much credit card debt, I would say Citi is still a great issuer. All right, so the next credit card company here we have on the list, this is gonna be Chase. So as most of you guys should already know, Chase is very easy to use. They are simple, they are cheap upfront compared to other issuers with higher annual fees. And I would say overall, Chase has a bit more practical value. They have an ecosystem of great cards which make up things like the trifecta, the quadfecta. They have great personal credit cards and a lot of great business credit cards. Right, Astro? Their business cards are dope. It's a solid issuer. You cannot go wrong with it. And JP Morgan Bank is still one of the biggest banks that exists right now. And I believe they're going to continue to invest into their program so that we continue to see even better benefits and offers. As an example, if you guys know about the Chase Sapphire Reserve, it's their higher elite tier credit cards, and they've actually used that credit card as an offering to lose money off the bat. They lost billions of dollars, but they do that to get people within the Chase ecosystem and eventually move up the ladder within some of their other financial products. I personally really like that type of business model, especially when we compare it to some of the other issuers that tend to make most of their money off of the interest rates that people end up falling prey to. So combine that with the fact that I've been using Chase for a while. They've been consistently great. They've given me a lot of points, and overall, I will continue to be a client with them. They're S tier. They are ultimate. I think they are still one of the best credit card companies to exist. Moving down the ranks, we have the Credit One Bank, and this is probably one of the best banks to exist as well. I would actually replace Chase on this list. Just kidding. Jokes. All right, this one's easy, guys. Credit One Bank, trash dumpster card. Not much to say about it. They're just terrible. They will charge you a cancellation fee if you ever want to cancel a credit card. I don't know how many issuers actually do that other than them. Their customer service really sucks, and they're oftentimes just meant for subprime credit card holders. So if you get any Credit One Bank card offer in the mail, throw it away, rip it up, burn it. You know, I don't want to say as far as wiping your butt with it because it's not even worth that. Now, if you guys by any chance ever wondered why Capital One and Credit One sound very similar, there's a lot of theories that this was intentional for people to mistake Credit One for Capital One, and it's actually a pretty interesting story. So it turns out Capital One started operating first using that name, and then Credit One was originally first called National Bank of Marin, and they started operating under the Credit One name in 2006 after relocating their branches. So if you're ever wondering why Capital One has not yet sued Credit One, it turns out that Credit One is the one that did the logo design before Capital One, before they could trademark it. So if Capital One decided to sue them for their name, it seems like it could go full circle. And right now they're just on a little bit of a peace treaty. Other than that, I can't ever see Credit One moving up the ranks for any reason, even if I had made this video like 5 to 10 years from now. Not a great bank. I would stay away from it with a 1,000-foot pole. All right, the next credit card issuer that we have here on the list, this one's gonna be a bit of an interesting one because Bank of America, I would actually consider them to be both an A tier and also a C tier. Now, this is simply off the fact that they have a program called the Bank of America Preferred Rewards Plan. So basically, depending on how much money you have with Bank of America, you're gonna be getting an additional boost on the value of your points and the discounts that you can get. This also means you can get a higher cashback rate on some of their credit cards, making some of their cards even better than what we've seen within the market. So if you have less than $100,000 in the bank, if you have less than even $25,000, Bank of America is a very mid credit card issuer, but if you do have a lot of money and you have it within Bank of America, you're gonna be seeing a lot of benefits coming back. As an example, if you have over $100,000 with them, you have the Platinum Honors tier, and then from here, you could see the additional benefits that you get, such as 75% reward bonus, you get 20% interest rate booster on a Bank of America Advantage savings account, you get $600 off your mortgage, no monthly maintenance fees, you get a little bit of a discount on an auto loan if you go with them. But say as an example, you go towards the gold tier, you're not getting nearly the same amount of benefits. Now, to quantify a lot of these things, as an example, if you have the Bank of America Cash Rewards card, you'd be able to get 5.25% cash back on a category of your choice, which could be gas, online shopping, dining, travel, drugstores, home improvement, furnishing, and more. On top of that, you can also get 3.5% cash back on groceries, which is insane. And if you get the unlimited cash rewards, the premium rewards elite, you could find yourself getting 2.625% cash back on non-category spend. And on the premium rewards card, you'd also be getting 3.5% cash back on dining and travel. And with the premium elite card, you're getting 3.5% cash back on dining and travel. But the points are worth about 1.25 cents per point when you book on the Bank of America travel portal, boosting the cashback rate of dining travel to even 4.4%. Look, guys, I know that was like a lot of numbers, so just take my word for it. If you got a lot of money, if you're a baller, this makes for a really good issuer. But if you happen to be a regular everyday Joe like most people, I would say this can come more towards the end game status, and it's not a priority I would take because there are much better credit card issuers that exist right now. All right, so the next one here on my list is going to be Apple. So Apple is not, y'all know what Apple is. They come out with the iPhones. They're not a credit card issuer, but they do also have a credit card. So I would actually put Apple within the mid-tier category, and that's because the Apple Card isn't anything revolutionary. It's not great, but their app is just so easy to use. You get payment reminders, you can see everything all at the click of a button. You can sync it up to your Apple Watch, your Apple Wallet. And although you can, yes, do that with many other cards, it just seems like Apple has a much more intuitive and easier and cleaner platform than any other credit card company. I'm someone who tends to value ease of use and convenience, so I wanted to throw them here on this list and not just completely ignore them either. Now, the next credit card issuer I have on this list is US Bank, and this might actually come to you guys at a bit of a surprise because it turns out out, a lot of their credit card products are pretty good. As an example, the US Bank Altitude Reserve card is arguably the best single card if you were to just have one card in your wallet. Now, this is because this is one of the few credit cards that allows you to get 3x back on mobile wallet purchases. And if you guys know, you can pretty much use mobile wallet purchases almost like 80% of the places you go now. On top of that, you get 5x on hotels and rental cars through their Altitude portal, which is not even terrible. I've heard much different portals having a much more terrible experience. So I would say in general, US Bank actually has a ton of different credit card products. A lot of people overlook them just because it's not really mentioned too much on YouTube, but they are very viable indeed. Now, I'm not gonna go through each and every one of their credit card products, but if you want me to break it down and go over what I think is the best, let me know down below in the comments. I would love to make like a US Bank ultimate guide video. I think that would perform pretty well too. For US Bank, all you really need to know is that they're good when it comes to rewards that can compete with some of the best within the space. They have the ability for you to trade and transfer your points for higher value within their portal at a very decent rate. And it's also been reported that they have some pretty solid customer support. The only major cons that I've seen with US Bank is that they're kind of like the opposite of Apple. They're not intuitive. You know, they don't have like the smoothest or cleanest system. And sometimes it could be a pain in the butt trying to see what categories, what rewards, what points you may have. It seems like they're genuinely offering a lot of useful different categories and perks to the needs of your everyday average Joe. Next on this list, we have luxury card. And if y'all don't know what luxury card is, this is that what you would consider to be like the fake black card that a lot of people get offers in within the mail. If you don't know what that looks like, it's this card here on your screen. And guys, it is not a great card at all. This is what I would consider to be like the credit one version of the luxury cards. It's just not even worth batting an eye at. The benefits are not great at all. Like, you would lose your money from getting one of these cards, even if you don't use it, just based on the annual fee. So based on that, it is actually within the trash dumpster category on my list. Last but not least, ladies and gents, we have American Express. I would actually claim them to be in the S tier category. I would even claim them to be a bit above Chase, just in my own personal experience. This is because I really value customer service. I really value high type of luxury status and rewards, and American Express is the top dog when it comes to that. And guys, no, this is not sponsored by American Express, not sponsored by Chase in any way. I just got affiliate links. You guys can always check those out, but you know, if the offers don't make sense, don't even use those links. Use your friends' links, use your family links, or whatever it is. But genuinely, from my own personal experience, the cards that I use on a day-to-day basis mainly consist of Amex, and if that's not accepted, then I'll use Chase, and a card that I've been using frequently is my Built MasterCard. Between American Express and Chase is definitely a lot more simpler without having to sacrifice too much, because with American Express, you do need to put in work. But once you put in that work, I definitely think there is more outsized value you can get. I really love things like going to a new hotel, getting treated with a freaking letter, and having all these benefits like free breakfast, free spa, and then they upgrade my room to one of their best rooms that I would have had to pay an enormous amount of money more for. But at the end of the day, just having an ease of mind where if I have like a fraudulent charge coming up on my account, I know for a fact American Express are going to be working very quick, and they're going to be supportive in me being able to get my money back. So I know there are some banks and credit card issuers that I might have left out. If that happens to be the case, let me know down below in the comments what I should have added. And if you guys do agree or disagree with my entire structure of my ranking list. By the way, guys, if you want to learn more about credit cards, if you want to get started within this entire space, I have a ton of resources and guides. Be sure to check that out. But if you guys also want to join a personal community, we have one of the best available on Facebook with about 33 to 34,000 members. Be sure to check out the link down below in the description. This is a completely free group, but you do need to get invited. And by using the link down below, we'll send you an invitation to join. With that being said, ladies and gents, if you also do want to pick up a bunch of free stocks, I believe it's like 20, 30 free stocks. It's just getting crazy. Be sure to check out Webull and Moomoo, link down below in the description, and pick up some free stocks. Thank you all so much again for watching this video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.